Hey everybody, it's Andy the Pop Professor back again with another video, and today I'm going to give you the first ever look at my Lego parts organization. Right there, right there, right there. So let's hit it. That's right everybody, it's Andy the Pop Professor back with another video. If you're new here, I cover Lego, Star Wars, Funko Pops, all kinds of collectibles. So please consider subscribing to the channel down below and also click that bell notification so you never miss another video. So I got into the Lego hobby out of my dark ages, if you will, through sorting, and I thought I've been working so hard on this Lego room. I've got a room tour video coming down the road, but it's a work in progress still. And I wanted to spend some time talking a little bit about my journey of sorting Lego parts. Anybody that's in the Lego hobby knows that sorting is at least 50% of the hobby. And I actually got back into Lego as an adult through my son, who had probably accumulated something like 30 sets, most of which were Star Wars. And we would build them together and put one of them in at a time into like the larger IKEA bins in his room. And eventually those were overflowing and we didn't have space anymore. And I thought, well, if we don't want to display these, we should break them down so that maybe he'll be encouraged to use these toys some more and build some things of his own. So I sat down and I began the incredible journey of sorting Lego elements. And of course, that opened up the long rabbit hole that I still have not come out of. So the parts, sorting by color, sorting by element, sorting, by part type, it's really tricky to know what to do. And then there's also the question of what size drawers to use and how we can make that as efficient as possible. So I've gone through a lot of different phases of this and it's always evolving. I just added these back into my storage solutions in the last week, and I'm really excited to share some of that journey with you guys so that hopefully those of you out there who are going through this yourselves might learn a little something. So I'll try to dig up some photos from my old Lego area that I've been in when I started the channel. Some of you guys may remember I had a bunch of these Akro-Mills drawers. What's going on everybody? It's Andy the Pop Professor here. And what I realized when I started sorting the parts out was that I was gonna need a lot of ways to divide the parts. So I think I ended up buying I've got 11, I think, of these Akro-Mills drawers, the 64 8x8 drawers. And I'll show you these up close. They're great. They're really nice products. The quality is nice. And I've used the actual drawers. They come out very easily a lot in various stages of my sorting, even putting them into your more standard Sterilite drawers for a while to separate things. But I kind of have gotten to a stopping point recently where I feel like 90% of my collection is actually sorted, which is feels incredible. And I immediately have ideas about how I would want to fix that, but it's a careful balance between keeping those things organized and also just focusing on building. So I'm constantly going back and forth about kind of trying to manage that. So the problem with the Akro-Mills drawers I immediately noticed was that they're obviously not very big. Some pieces you can only fit one or two, if even that, in the drawer. And then of course, if you have a lot of them, they start to overflow. Then the question is like, where do I put them from there? So I initially made a system using the Brick Architects website. Wow, what a cool resource with the stickers, which you can still see behind me. I'll link that in the description below. And I thought, well, I'm gonna print out all these stickers and I'm gonna make a drawer for everything. And that way, as I'm sorting, everything will have a spot. And that made tons of sense in practice to me, or in theory, but then when I got into practice with sorting, what I found is that, first of all, it takes you a very, very long time to sort your parts if you get that granular with your sorting. And any of us who are in the hobby, who have other things going on with work life or family life, know that you know, it's not you always only have a certain amount of time that you can dedicate to your hobby, and you don't always want to spend the entire time sorting. And what I found is if I had everything really, really down to the part like that, it was tricky. So then I worked these Sterilite drawers in, and I started to put at least some of the bigger parts that didn't fit in there into those. And I think I found a system now that's like a nice blend of specificity, but also generalization, so that if I want something, I don't have to dig too long to get it, but also when I'm sorting, I don't have to sort every single part into a single drawer, almost like a pick-a-brick bricklink seller or something like that. I don't want every element I have to be its own lot, because it just takes so much time. And that is probably one of the number one pieces of advice that I would share with people who are trying to set up a storage system for Lego. So that's a little bit about my background. Sorting is a part of every day in the Lego life, so there's lots more to say about it. But let's get the camera flipped around and take a little tour of what I've got going around here, and I'll show you guys some of my inside of some of my drawers here in April 2020 and the current state of my Lego storage system. Okay guys, so I told you that this storage system started with the Akro-Mills drawers, and this was originally inspired both by the Brick Architects website, but also by Kevin Hinkle's studio tour on YouTube, where he has this beautiful lineup of his parts laid out. And I love the idea that everything is there 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 6, etc. But I didn't have the room to go left to right. And so instead I've gone from top to bottom. So this top section is 16 different colors of 1 by 1 plates through basically all of the 1 by plates. So let me take some of these out here. We've got white and red, and then it moves along through, what do we have here? Brown, orange, I think. And it moves through some of the neutral colors, dark tan, regular tan, yellow, green, sorry, bright green, which doesn't even have all of the parts, but because of my baseball diamond build, I was accumulating a lot of bright green. Then we've got dark green. This is largely empty right now, but I need to fill that in. I just don't have that many of very many other colors. My parts collection is not particularly huge. Classic, royal blue, then dark blue, which of course I have less of. Another empty slot, then light bluish gray, dark bluish gray, and black. So it sort of moves from white to black. There's like no perfect way to do that, but I feel like in these middle ones, you can see the colors the best. White, red, through the browns, the kind of primary colors, and then over to the grays and blacks. So up here we have, let's just go down one column, and maybe we'll use red since I have a fair amount of that. So these are 1 by 1 plates, which you can see in there, and then the 1 by 2 plates, which I think I can get up and show you those. 1 by 3, which in red, it looks like I don't have any at the moment. 1 by 4 plates, 1 by 6 plates. Can you see those there? Yeah. 1 by 8, 1 by 10, and then 1 by 12 and larger. And those are so hard to come by that I found that the and larger works just fine, at least for now. And then as these drawers get filled, which you'll see some of them are quite full, like the 2-bys, then they move over to more bulk storage over there, which I'll show you in a minute. All right, so moving down further, we have the corner plate, which I don't have in red, so I'll show you right there. I've got it in white, which is sort of a 2 by 2 with one missing. And then we go to the 2 by 2, 2 by 3, 2 by 4, 2 by 6, 8, 10, 12, and larger. Then down here we move to bricks, and we have the 1 by 1 brick, you can see there, and then 1 by 2. It looks like I own one red 1 by 2 brick. There must be some somewhere, but probably in builds. 1 by 3, 1x4. I use some of the Akro-Mills dividers to keep the colors when I have small amounts to the front so I can see them more easily. So if you get these, make sure you peel all of those off the back because they are really handy. 1x4, 6, 8, 10, and then 12 and larger. This one doesn't have any, but you can see how those look and they fit in there really, really well with white. And then down below, these are actually the only two I have of the larger drawer size. So what I usually do in here is I just do the corner bricks and then 2x2 bricks, 2x3, that shouldn't be there, 2x4, and then 2x6 and larger. And a couple of these large ones you can see are still out being used as like subdividers in there, and I'm slowly like trying to get them back in their place. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. This is the same moving vertical for every single color. So if I went up there again, this is 1x1 plates, 2x plates, 1x bricks, and then 2x bricks. And I found that so far that works really, really well for me. So then if we go over here, you can see I have two different sizes of Sterilite drawers, which use basically one of the kind of 13 categories that the brick architect lays out in his labels. And I follow that, I guess, nomenclature pretty closely, but then I've also found, as many people advise in various forms, that everyone's brick collection is, very unique, and it has to make sense to you. So I've also started to just like put things where they make sense to me, and you basically have to commit that storage solution to memory. So staying with like basic bricks down here, you can see I have tan bricks. So this is basically anything that's larger than a 2x, that would have been where we just were, but it also includes angled pieces and round pieces, which is what the A and the R stand for. So if I open this up, you can see it's just like tons of large plates. These are a large chunk of any round pieces that I have in tan. I try to keep things in plastic bags. It's not my favorite because it's, there's like another step of going in to get it, but it's also beats like when you do need something, having to really fight through. So you can see here, somewhere along the line, probably for the baseball diamond, these are all 2x4 plates. Now those go over there, but those aren't all gonna fit. So it's a great example of this is kind of my backlog as well. And for now, it's enough space. Eventually I may have to do more. So then we go to dark tan in here, yellows and oranges. I have this big bag of 1x4 oranges, which I hope to use basically to just outline large mocks as I design them. Then I have green, tons of green from the baseball stadium, especially the 2x and the 4x. And an empty drawer for, some expansion. And then all blue and red. So this was a change. I used to have these separated, but I was finding that my drawers, like look at this drawer, this is not a good use of space. And so this is a second big tip I would give to anybody trying to figure this out, especially for the first or in the early stages, is it's such a fine line between having this perfect storage divisions and also just having drawers that are completely empty. If I need a shade of yellow in here or orange, it's not hard to find, that piece right there amongst all of this. So I try to put things together where the colors aren't too similar, actually, so they're easy to go through. So side benefit is, while we're all home with the COVID-19 pandemic, I just gave this to my kids to play with, and when they're done, I can just like throw it all back in and I don't have to resort it, which is great. So over here I have, actually let's go up. Here's more of the same brown and beige as well. I don't have enough to like really fill a drawer, so I went ahead and like threw some like dark red and any kind of like neutral colors together. I would love to have this more separated than this, but I've just learned it's just not worth the time. It ends up being so much more work. Now, getting into colors where I have more, Black has its own just for basic bricks like this, and white are the same. But then I also have these angled and round pieces separate. So you can see here, let me stand up. This is any round pieces in black and white, and then the same for any angled pieces. And again, they contrast so much that it's fairly easy to see. And then because I'm such a big Star Wars fan, I by far have the most in gray, light and dark. So again, light gray right here, those parts, dark gray, basic parts here, and then all angled and round pieces are there, just like the black and white that I just showed you. And so that is a little further divided than the other parts that I showed you. So then we move here to translucent parts, which are here, but I also have a bunch that I've bought in bulk, different specific parts, like here are the 1x studs. Here, I found this on the Pick-a-Brick wall. These are the lightsaber pieces. I have like a huge bag of them. I'm really excited about that. I'm also really excited about all these trans clear pieces. These are the barrel 1x1s and just all kinds of, these are the 2x2s that you can see there. Just some really cool stuff. I think I got this on a parts draft in my lug. These are some really cool parts. So just got a bunch of bulk translucent stuff in there where everything is separated. Now I think we'll move down here, staying in the basic colors, but this gets even more expansive than a drawer like this, which is basic plus angled and round, because it has that, but it has more than one color in it. So this is basically like any pinkish purple shade at all, because I just don't have that many of any of those colors. So I recently consolidated this. Now greens, I have a lot of bright green because I did the stadium build, as I've mentioned a few times. So it kind of gets its own drawer, but we also have this, you can see the Akro-Mill drawer here being used as like a small subdivider. I probably need to go ahead and clean that up because I actually have a bunch more green here, lime green and all these different shades of things in here. And that is where those drawers have ended up. So I may go ahead and like Ziploc these for the time being. There's no reason to like unsort them and then put those drawers back over there. I'll probably do that when I get done filming this video, actually. So we already looked at these colors. Here's dark blue, but not in the wall styles, and other shades of blue. So I think that gets us through the basic bricks. And maybe at this point, it's good to move over here to tiles. So I've got the bunch of different tiles here in bags, but I also have them up there, which I'm going to show you in a moment. This is just modified tiles of any kind and backlog of like jumper plates if I have a whole bunch of a certain color. And this is, you know, sidewalk tiles because I bought them through lug bulk with my lug in bulk. I think I got 1,000 of each or something. So I have a ton of those. Go ahead and just finish this section then. Right now I have what I call 1x parts. This is where I strayed a little bit from the brick architect and just kind of was starting to realize I wanted all my small parts separated because they're easier. And those now have their own home up there, and we'll go look at that in a moment. But if we go into his second category, it's just basically anything that has to do with like buildings or walls. So here are those palisade and grill bricks of all colors and shapes. You can see some really cool stuff, easy to find what you need. And then the masonry bricks, I love these. I have a lot of them. I can't lay off. If I ever find them, I always pick them up. Have them in almost every color. Pretty good quantity there. So that drawers get pretty full. Here we've got any kind of structural things, but also some bulk of these grill pieces, some bulk fence pieces, anything that's like graded, a ladder piece, or I love these parts. They're really great. And then moving down, we have the panels, both the large and small, like the 1x2 panel like this, but also like these large ones. Doors and windows. I actually don't have a very big collection of those. I would love to have more on hand. And finally, seats and rails. This part doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense, even to me, but it's just kind of the leftover stuff that I felt like made sense. So that's that category. Then we move into the studs not on top here, which is basically just any kind of snot brick. Again, you can see I have them in bulk, and I use the plastic bags just to keep the, I can quickly pull these out and then kind of get at the rest of it, which is working for now. In the end, I would love to have even more organization than that, but it does the job and allows me to focus on building time. And then these are snot brackets, so bricks and brackets. Just keep it that simple, and it's worked for me so far. If I'm pulling a mock build down, like with instructions or something from Bricklink, or just doing something on my own, I can find these parts fast. I think a lot of these are, those are empty. This is just one of my kind of miscellaneous, kind of goes over with the doors section, but I kind of need to go through it. It's also like a clip, which we're going to get to next. Or like a bar here. So just some random like large parts that seem to make sense, and more empties there. I actually could swap this empty out, and then that whole 3-drawer unit there would be empty. Okay, moving along here to a couple more categories, the clip and handle parts. This is anything in here that has like a clip on it, which is working really well. This is definitely one that would benefit from more organization, but then is also one that takes a lot of time to organize. Now that I've done the bulk of my organizing though, if you break down a set and stay on top of it and just get the whole thing put away, I found the sorting doesn't take long, but at first it was very, very long. Here are some parts with handles on them that I still have the drawers. I can't get myself to like unsort these because they're so nicely sorted. There's like no reason not to keep them that way, but I also cannot find dividers for these Sterilite drawers that fit, that I'm happy with. So if anybody knows of any, I've looked at Walmart and Target, you name it, here in the US, cannot find it. And then just some bulk clip parts. Trying to move along here. This is another one of my own inventions. It's basically like bar and like long parts, like, these like tubes, and just anytime I get something that's kind of like, I think this is maybe from the Incredibles Junior set, like anything that's just kind of long and wiry, I just throw it in here and helps me remember where it is. And then all of the hinge and socket pieces are in there, and another empty there. After that, we move down here. We already covered those drawers, but this is just vehicle stuff, anything to do with vehicle parts. And then this is only tires and wheels. I don't build a lot of cars, so these just tend to accumulate. This is my nature drawer, but I recently divided some of this out and put them up there, which I'll show you in a minute. And then this is some bulk nature that's all divided out in bags, and a couple more empties. And I think that pretty much covers most of these drawers. Down here, I've got containers drawer for just like, chests and things like that. And I have, this just happened this week, the plates, arms, and bricks for my Technic parts came out of like tackle box type storage and went in here. And for as often as I build Technic, that's more than easy enough to find what I need. And that one's empty. And then down here, I have my power functions and all printed parts of any kind, stickers included. And then these are a couple of just like random, very large parts. And frankly, just stuff I didn't know what to do with, as well as like some Bionicle type stuff, Bionicle Plus. So yeah, so that's gonna do it for the white drawers. The only part I didn't show you, let me get this chair out of the way, was these here. I've just got some drawers that have like old sticker sheets and things like that. Some tools that I use around the studio and my plastic bags. That's kind of more like a shop stuff. And then again, like my dividers and things for that storage wall over there. An empty drawer that's already been eliminated. And then I showed you these like backup bulk one-bys. And then these are all various minifigures. And maybe we'll just go through minifigure stuff another time because there's a lot that goes into it. So the final thing here in the studio walkthrough, this is my one-by storage. It doesn't fall in any certain category, but boy, they're basically just common parts that I wanted easy access to. So this would be the 1x1 round, but you can see it's empty because I actually put it, let me move this guy out of the way, into these larger drawers down below. So this is the Akro-Mills drawer that has a half and half set up. But you can see just here, we've got the round brick and the cone. This has those like bulb shaped ones. The ones with the pins are in here and the ones with the holes are there. So they're all there, ready to go. Then we get into the sloped, kind of like bow shaped parts in various sizes. I need to print out a couple stickers for those, as well as these curved parts right here. And then even the 2x2 curved parts. And I need to just get stickers on those. This all happened in the last like week or so, just finalizing this section. These are the tooth pieces and this 2x1 cutout piece. I think these are empty, and you can see just some other common small parts, including like the cheese grater part and the brick with the groove in it. Which was previously down in the like wall area. And then these are tiles. These are the 1x2 translucent tiles. There's more tiles down here. 1x1 round, 1x1 round with the eyeball, like the print there, because I just randomly have those 1x1 square tiles, and then the like quarter circle tiles. And this is the round, half square tile. I'm not sure what that's called there. So then down here, we just got jumper plates, the 1x and the 2x, the cheese wedges, the 1x and the 2x, rounds, the grill plates. And I mean, this size drawer is such a step up from this. Like you suddenly, you know, I can like really dig through here with a full hand and get whatever I need. And then finally tiles, gray tiles of any shape other than the really, really small ones. Black and white, beige, and colors of any kind. And as you can see, I got plenty of room to go. And if these start overflowing, well, this one will probably first. You may remember my 2x2 tiles I've got a couple in here, but then I had like a bag of them over in that overflow. So I would either do that or then divide these into like light gray and dark gray. So, and I got a couple of open drawers here, which I could do that with, which is nice. And then, again, this is now all minifigure accessories. I was storing them in devices like this, and I'll go through these with you guys sometime. But I just find it so easy to like pull the drawer out and boom, like there's lightsaber stuff, anything you could need right at your fingertips. So you can see I've got them all labeled and they're making pretty good sense. I also have support for those in these drawers down here. So what I'm learning is that almost every category, no matter how you categorize them, it's kind of good to have some small drawers, some of the bigger, and then some of the even larger, because some things just, you have to take quantity into consideration when you're sorting. And the last section I'll do here, don't pay any attention to these stickers. They're all old from what, like I told you, I at one time had printed all of these out, but you know, there are just certain things here that like, I don't need these fence pieces divided. I can just put them in the drawer below. So I need to just pull these stickers off. But I did put my nature parts that were small up here. So again, when I'm going through that nature drawer, I'm not having to like fight through all this little stuff. And if I need that, it's just all there. So I think that's the bulk of it. I've got some storage down here for railroad parts, and the bottom drawer is like parts I've pulled for mocks that I want to build, and the inventory is not 100%. Like, I'm working through the list on my Bricklink want list, and I'll make a video someday soon kind of talking about that process. But this is about it, gang. I'm really excited. It's working well for me. You can see I've even labeled most of the drawers with just text, and I was surprised at that process. When you're forced to type up a label and say what it is, boy, I started to really consolidate things, and I probably gained back 6 or more drawers when I would have to type in what it was and then discuss, or like sort of agree with myself that this is what it was going to be. And I'm looking at the drawer and it's like almost empty. So I encourage you to do that process. I was really on the fence about the labels. I actually think they look pretty sharp, but I kind of wanted them not on there because it looks kind of nice without them. But I spent a lot of time, even with just this many parts, kind of opening the wrong drawer. And until I kind of really get it memorized, this has been helpful. So it's a combination of these Akro-Mills drawers and the Sterilite drawers. My dream right now is to get these off the wall and into the really useful boxes drawers that the brick set studio tour featured. But I'm in Tennessee in the United States, and they are not easy to get, and they're also not cheap. But if I could get all of these into those like horizontal drawers, that would open up all this space for display of a bunch of sets or figures, which I think would be a better use of the wall. And then I could also reuse these as my parts collection expands to potentially get some other things. So I think that's it. So let's head to the outro of the video. Okay, everybody, that was a long one, but I hope you find that really helpful. Like I said, it has been a daily battle trying to figure out these things as a Lego hobbyist, AFOL, and collector. And I've probably been at this for 2 to 3 years now, seriously. And the sorting and organization is like I said, just something I'm constantly revising and tweaking. And I hope that you don't necessarily look to duplicate what I've done here, but you just take a couple of your favorite ideas, combine them with your own ideas, and then look at some of the other great videos that I've found online on how people handle this. I think if there was one takeaway from this video, it would be just to remember not just the division in which you want to store things with color or part. I would recommend sorting by part. As nice as it is to sort by color, a bunch of different parts that are the same color are harder for me to find than if you have the same part in a bunch of different colors. It seems like it's easier. So that's just one little tip that I've learned. But having the different sizes of storage has probably been the most important. And then from there, you can make your collection and your storage your own. So that's going to do it for today. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and especially don't forget, I've got a new P.O. box. The information's down in the description, and we're going to be doing mail time videos here in May, and I'm so excited to start reaching out and communicating with some of you guys. So please consider sending me some thoughts on the video, send me a letter, and we can get in touch. And of course, leave your comments down below. I'd love to interact with you guys that way, or over on Instagram at The Pop Professor. So thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.